a chance to look
He
at it.
did some good stuff in the game. He'd probably agree. He's glad that first game's out of the way. That's a lot of snaps. That's a lot more than a half a dozen and a couple of kicking snaps or whatever. He's probably glad it's out of the way and get the jitters out of the way. He did some good things in the game.
Paul, yesterday when he was talking about the run game, used some terminology I was hoping you could maybe clear up. He talked about being on the edge too much, not covering up enough, I think was what he said. What is he talking about when he says that?
If you're the running back and the color flashes in front of you, it makes you get off your landmark. So if we're not right on, they're looking in the hole and they see somebody flash, it could have them go the wrong way. It could have them not where the ball's designed to go. With the exception of Isaac, I don't know that we have the experience to keep the ball in the hole and let guys catch up to it. But that's really what he's talking about. If it's designed to go someplace and something flashes, they're going to take it the opposite way, and you don't want to do that.
Even with something flashes, you still want to go at it anyway?
Yeah, you have to trust that somebody's coming to it. I mean, sooner or later, you can't make every run sideways because something flashes.
Uh-huh.
And the older you get, you understand that it's better to take 3 than go sideways and get 0, or to jump out of the hole and get 1. But it's just, it comes back to the same thing like I told you last week. If we don't block them good enough, there's trouble. There's trouble all around. Run or pass.
Did you have any words of advice for Dorian before Saturday night?
Go play. We didn't have any alternatives. I put Biz in for a couple snaps, but we were coming off 3 guys with backs. That's who practiced. Those guys couldn't practice, and until he got banged around there, I just didn't feel like it was his game to play. He needed to go play it. He needed to get it, like I said, get it out of the system, good or bad.
Did you feel he felt overwhelmed at all by that?
I didn't see it in his eyes. I think maybe there's some situations that came up, with crowd noise and with 45 rushing on him, the speed of the rush and crowd noise, not getting his head where it needed to be. But I don't think he was overwhelmed by the situation. I just think he had to go through it. That's the best. It's the only way you can put it. He had to go through that game.
Mm-hmm. How much will that help in his development? It seems like he's a kid that can handle it.
For anybody that gets to play, it's a help. We made the decision, like I told you, if it's 6 plays or 60, it's going to help him next year. It's all building. If we're going to base everything on where we are right now, we'll never go forward. It's what we're putting in the bank. We want to win right now. We're not looking for excuses or anything, but nothing that happened in that game can hurt him down the road. Nothing that happened can hurt him down the road.
If Bisnotti practices all week, do you have a decision to make, or does he step back?
No, we're not looking for Wally Pipp. Biz got hurt. He didn't take an aspirin for a cough. He legitimately was hurt, and was out of practice. He needs to go back in there and play. Now, he played for us, and we won games and moved the football when he was in there. There's no reason to make a change. I feel that with all those guys. If it's a legitimate injury, unless it drags on forever, where you feel like they can't make up the time, we owe it to them to put them back in there and give them a chance to stay in there.
From what you know and seen from Dorian, do you see a tackle or a guard down the road?
I'm not sure. We bounced them around so much. I think we need to settle them in. I think the whole point behind it was when we started out, we wanted them to play tackle, and then we wanted to put them at tight end because they were side by side, and something might carry over. And then as we got guys beat up, we moved them inside. Then we had to move them back outside. So I'm not sure. We got to come to a decision on that. He certainly has the athleticism to play at tackle, but he's also got the strength and toughness to play inside. So I'm not sure. And the best part about it is we don't have to make that decision right now. We can do that when calmer heads prevail, or whatever that saying is.
Jim, it looks like Notre Dame might be getting a couple of their down linemen back this week.
It doesn't. You know what? It
thoughts on
doesn't.
them?
It really doesn't matter. We can't sit there and I'm not the guy that prays for kids to be hurt. They only get to play so many games regardless of who they are. If they're coming back, we got to play against them. We got to do the best job that we can against them. We got to put the kids in a scheme we think is going to work, and we got to go play, and we got to play fast, and we know it. So if they come back, they come back. If they don't, then we got to block the next guy that's in there. You really have to approach it that way. If you start scheming at our level, you'll never get out of the box because everything would turn into pass. You'd be scheming all the time not to run the ball.
What's the scouting report on Notre Dame's defensive line? What are you expecting from them?
Big, strong, fast, tough. 7's an All-American. One people are talking about one being a guy, a 30 tackle, a odd tackle, nose tackle in the NFL, being that type of player. They got guys.